Hi friends, welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. I'm Austin, and today's video is a base game tiny home. It is a modern style home, 2 floors, very, limited space regardless. It's not the smallest tiny home that I've built, but I think it's large enough to where it can still have like personality and be, really small. So yeah, I early on decided I wanted to do base game, and I did check, and it is base game, and I also tested the house, so it is, ready to be up on the gallery, and hopefully it is before I actually upload the video. Sometimes I forget, and a couple days after I'll add it, but hopefully it's already up on the gallery. And if it's not and you're interested in it and you check and you find out it's not up there, then you can always message me in the comments section, or you can let me know on Twitter. Either way is fine. It's never intentional that I forget. I'm always happy to share every build I do. I think one of the reasons why I show them is because I'd like, more downloads, and, for people to have, interesting houses on their gallery. And I think if you're, kind of doing a tiny house world, this is a, great place to have. Now, I didn't fall in love with that side panel on the side of the building, so I do take it down pretty quickly, but I think there's something there maybe for another build, but it just didn't work out for this build, so I do end up getting rid of it. But yeah, so the exterior was pretty quick, I want to say. The build took me about an hour, which in the past tiny house builds have taken me anywhere between like half an hour to like 35 minutes, which I'm looking back at some of those builds, I'm not the most proud of them. I think I could have always put a little more time in, but with this house and the size of it, I'm really happy with how it came out. And being in Newcrest, it's kind of difficult to landscape because there's really nothing around to take inspiration from, but I think the kind of sparse landscaping here kind of does this modern house well. So yeah, and if you always feel you can always feel free to change the landscaping if you like the house and aren't a fan of the landscaping. I have no qualms with any of that sort of stuff, but I'm really happy with how it looks, and if I was to play with this house, I would keep it like this, which sort of makes sense since I was the one that built it. But yeah, so I love doing tiny houses. I have done series in the past where I've done tons of tiny houses, but this one I'd say is my favorite that I've done in a long time. It's modern, but I don't think I've really ever successfully done a modern base game build before, and I'm really happy with how this one came out. And I didn't even use a lot of kind of the newer stuff that's been added in updates. I've noticed that since I started playing again, that a lot of interesting stuff has been added recently. But I didn't use any of that stuff here, I don't think. I might have, but I'm not 100% sure. So the kitchen is small, and then the living area is kind of in the middle of it. There's a sink under the stairs, just because I couldn't really fit space for it anywhere else, but I'm really happy with kind of how that looks. And the TV kind of area is in the other corner. As you can see, I'm starting to build it out now. I end up getting rid of the hanging TV. Oh, I already just did. Okay. But I think this kind of look is better. It's a little, it kind of lends itself to be, I think lived in a little bit easier, and it just kind of looks better aesthetically. So yeah, like I mentioned, I did test this house, and I'm really happy that I didn't have to change anything around. So I did the screenshots before I tested, but nothing needed to be changed, so everything was okay, and that was nice. And if you if you're interested in building tiny houses and you've never built one before, one tip I would give you is to kind of build vertically, so have shelves and stuff. Even if you're not planning on releasing your house on the gallery, but you like to take screenshots or do anything like that, having the vertical space kind of makes the area feel larger. So do it with moderation, obviously, because if you do too much, then it can kind of feel cluttered and stuff. But just building vertically is something that's helpful. But yeah, so the cabinets I used, well, I didn't actually use cabinets. The counters I used, I really like. I like those countertops because depending on the color swatch, they can look really modern and sleek to like really retro and kind of old. And I like that kind of variation. I don't think any of the other countertops in the game have that much variation. I feel like all the other countertops are either like really traditional or really sleek and modern. So it's one of the reasons why I use those countertops a lot, because you know, if I change my mind about the interior of a build, I might not even have to change the countertops or cabinets. I could just, you know, change the color swatch. So yeah, the bedroom is really small. It is a tiny home after all, but you know, I tried to make sure it felt roomy, and you can basically go all the way around, though I don't know if you're actually able to get in through the other side of the bed. I doubt it, because it's so close to the wall, but you know, there's still a little space there so it doesn't clip into the curtains and everything. And you can always add like a plant or a light or something there if you wanted to utilize that space a little bit more. So yeah, I did include a couple of things in this build. Including the violin that I just added, I think a tablet and a camera, which I do believe are all base game. Yeah, I don't believe they were always, you know, there from the start, but it's been a long time since I've played, you know, with the fresh, you know, 1.0 build of The Sims 4. I did buy the game when it first came out. I remember I drove to my local store and picked it up the day it came out, and you know, never looked back. Pretty much, it was you know, I've always enjoyed playing this game, and you know, I wasn't really able to play The Sims 3 that well because of my computer, and I loved playing The Sims 3 when I was able to, though. It was a lot of fun, and The Sims 2 as well. That's kind of where I got started. But yeah, so the screenshots are on the screen now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a pretty quick build. It was something that was a lot of fun to do, and I love how it turned out. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and if you are new to the channel, then I highly recommend subscribing to hear me ramble on again. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time.